Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Nvidia Shield owners, stop going to press that dislike button before you've heard me out. If you already own an Nvidia Shield, I don't blame you one iota. If I had that kind of money, I would buy one too, because the best of the best is always the best. And that's too many bests for one sentence. But if you're like me and can't afford an Nvidia Shield, you probably don't need one. So I'm going to make this a reasonably quick unboxing because I know how long it can take to review these Android boxes. This is a Matricom Q3. Hello. Goodbye. Not interested in paper. What's this? Yeah, that's a nice little remote. It feels good. Got like a nice standout groovy part to it. Groovy, baby. Groovy. It looks terribly familiar. Looks a lot like that, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's very shiny indeed. I love shiny things, and look at that. I didn't see my face in it. Wowee. There's nothing to peel, though. God damn it, what am I supposed to do for an unboxing if Paul can't peel things off things? Very nice. I like the look of that. What we got? There's like an external storage on it, so that's like an SD card reader by the looks of it. On the back, we've got some USB ports, two of, HDMI, Ethernet, standard jack out and optical out, and a power in. A couple of batteries to the remote, and a power supply. It's an empty box, let's do this thing. Okay, so before I begin, I've got to point out I'm using A to Z screen recorder to do this, and of course that is taking up a whole load of the GPU. We're asking the graphics processor to do more than just one thing here all the time. So any stuttering you notice, trust me, is not there in real life. Also, the quality of things doesn't look as good. Everything is going to look a little bit more mashed because I'm using that. I could just point my camera at the screen, but I ain't going to do that. I'm not doing that just for you. So anyway, the home section has got by default Facebook, Kodi, Matricom, and YouTube in it. That kind of sucks because you can't get rid of them. The Matricom store especially is something I'm not interested in, not really anyway. I mean, it's basically the cut-down version of the Play Store and has a load of recommendations in it for things that they think you should probably install. It's alright, it's pretty good, I don't distrust it at least. But I don't think it needs to be there all the time, and I can't get rid of it. I can't long press on it to kill it. Down below are the things that you've added personally, so you can go to Add New and stick something else in there, which is kind of cool. I've put in there Amazon Music, for example, and if I open up Amazon Music, I'll get the typical Amazon Music front end that tries to force me into rating them. Screw you, Amazon. No thanks. So I can then use my buttons on my remote to move around and select. And then you get kind of stuck and you have to switch to the mouse mode, and the mouse mode is kind of awkward, which is a bit of a shame. But if I click on one of these, it starts playing. Kodi works much better for that sort of thing. We'll go on to Kodi shortly. All of these menus work in kind of the same way, so you get things that they've forced upon you, and then underneath you can then choose something for yourself, so I can add new things to the video menu. After videos, we've got music, and they've forced on you Pandora, Spotify, Deezer, and SoundCloud. Spotify, again, if you open this up, you're going to find you're going to need you can kind of scroll left and right and up and down, but if you want to play something, you're going to have to switch to mouse mode and then squeeze the mouse around. I think you could probably install an Air Mouse. I'm going to install an Air Mouse shortly and see if I can control the mouse arrow on the screen using an Air Mouse instead, which would be much easier. So moving on, we've then got apps, which is just everything you've installed. Games, which they've forced on you nothing other than Google Play and Matricom Store. Again, I can't get rid of these. I've installed Matsu Player for playing NES, SNES, Megadrive, those sorts of things. Moonlight for streaming from my Nvidia GeForce card, which can stream games to an Nvidia Shield, but can also stream them to the Moonlight app, thanks to the awesome people that made Moonlight. An N64 emulator, which works. I've played some James Bond on that, and it works just fine. I'm terrible at James Bond. Live TV forces on you things that you're definitely not going to watch, like French television and German television and Spanish television and all those things I can't understand. But if you're in the States, you can put Fox on here, among others. I did have a look at using the Matricom store at what they recommended, and Fox was up there along with the BBC iPlayer and all sorts of other cool things that you could just stick in there instead. Themes gives you the ability to change backgrounds. Ooh, pretty. I like them, but not as much as I'd like to do it myself, and I can't. They have said, I've seen in their forum, that they're thinking about making it so you can choose your own backgrounds and create your own themes and those sorts of things. But for now, you're stuck with those four. And annoyingly, these children that are all over the place. This one's staring at the sky, all belligerent. Go play games with some friends. Stop lying in the grass, jerk. My personal favourite, though, is these guys playing games. They've just been told to open their mouths. Look, there's no emotion there at all. They're definitely not genuinely enjoying themselves. Someone just said, kids, open your mouths. And they went, all right, here's my mouth being open. Yeah. So anyway, Matricom, get better actors. Especially those guys. Stop looking so damn handsome and pretty, you jerks. That is the scheme of things. Everything else is very Android-y. It comes bundled with ES File Explorer, which I used to love. Until they got too big for their boots and decided, I'm going to throw an advert in your face every 10 seconds. Thanks, ES File Explorer, I now hate you. Bluetooth menu. To connect your stuff up, I've connected an S600 gamepad, which I got for like £15 off Amazon, just so I could play games. That's cool, little Bluetooth pad. And then their remote. So this Kodi shortcut was already here, and when I clicked on it, it took me to the Play Store to download the latest version of Kodi, which is ace, because it means they haven't installed their own special version of Kodi with special buffer settings to cope with weird things like odd codecs or anything. It all just worked as it should have done. I didn't have to mess about with any files. It's actually been the quickest I've been able to set Kodi up on any Android box so far. So what I will say before I start this is I tried this on Wi-Fi as well. And initially, it kind of struggled a little bit, and you could see there were some dropped frames because it's trying to transfer 4K across a Wi-Fi network. And I used the 5G portion of the network, but then, miraculously, it started running just fine after about 30 seconds of struggling. So you can actually get this thing to stream 4K video across your network at 60 frames per second, and it do so flawlessly after about 30 seconds of faffing. So again, that's using the GPU to some degree to do both this and screen capture, so there's going to be obvious juttering. That juttering is not present when I'm not screen capturing. So that's awesome. It's your usual typical Kodi setup, so you can add add-ons to this in the same way as you could any device, whether that be a Windows device or an Android device. So I'm really pleased. The Kodi aspect of it works perfectly, and this will actually replace the box that I've got in my bedroom, I think. So next up, we've got games. So to really put it through its paces, we'll do something really complicated, like use a SNES. And give Sonic the Hedgehog a go. So do some Megadrive emulation instead. I think the Megadrive is supposed to have slightly better graphics than the Super Nintendo, or faster graphics. So the emulation technically should be more difficult. As you can see, I'm super good at Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh man. My 10-year-old self would be furious right now. That's weak. Weak sauce, Paul Hibbert. Not good sonicking at all. So you see, as far as emulation goes, that's pretty bloody spot on. So that's just using my Bluetooth control pad from Sminica, whatever on earth that's supposed to mean. And yeah, it wasn't too difficult to set this up once I figured out what I was doing. So yeah, for game emulation, this is a cool little box, and I'm pleased. Give GoldenEye a go. Not sure how well it's going to cope with this, because this is a huge step up, really, from the old Super Nintendo. Stop killing me, jerk! No! Why can't I shoot you? Well, I can't even stop looking at the ground. I'm not capable. I'm the worst Bond ever. I got you. You prick. It's pathetic. Anyway, you can see it's perfectly capable of handling these graphics. Oh, there's the floor again. I'm perfectly capable of dying. Anyway, that's James Bond working. So I did once try the Dolphin emulator, which emulates a GameCube, but I can't even install it on this box, so that's a huge shame, because I really wanted to know whether it was capable of handling that or not. It's probably not going to handle a GameCube. But it would have been nice to have at least given it a go. It won't even let me install it, which is a bit of a shame. The only thing I've not shown you is Moonlight. Moonlight is software that enables you to connect to your PC if you have a capable graphics card, like I have the Nvidia graphics card, which is capable of doing the streaming to an Nvidia Shield. This thing basically emulates the Nvidia Shield's connection in and allows you to play games on here. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed to go. Woohoo! And that's actually doing remarkably well. That looks great. That looks as good as it does normally, even with A to Z screen recorder running. So streaming-wise, this thing is far more capable of doing the actual streaming than it is of trying to produce the graphics itself. So streaming-wise, this box is perfect, not only for movies and TV shows and stuff, but also for streaming your gaming PC so you could play in another room. Awesome! That is gaming. Oh look, an N22 score! So relevant! So important! Not any of those things. If you're into that thing, I kind of get it. It's like a big swinging contest, and this thing is a tiny little it's not important how big its is, it's what you do with it. And at the end of the day, this thing is perfectly capable. If I can use it for Kodi perfectly well, I can stream games from my proper gaming PC, and I can play Sonic the Hedgehog on it. That's kind of all I really want it for. If you're thinking of the future, and it's not just a big swinging contest for you, then I kind of get that too. Maybe you're hoping eventually Dolphin Emulator will work for this thing and you could use it as a GameCube. I'd recommend just buy a GameCube, dude. Just buy a GameCube. So for the discerning viewers amongst you, you're going, hang on a minute, this was a review. That's not what I clicked on. It is kind of what you clicked on. This was always a review. But I think I have fulfilled the title to this video too. If you have an Nvidia Shield, good on you. I would like one too. But if you can't afford an Nvidia Shield, this will do pretty much everything an Nvidia Shield does for a lot cheaper. At the end of the day, this does Kodi, it does game streaming from my PC, and it does all of the retro consoles that I'm interested in. I don't think you need an Nvidia Shield unless you want the best of the best of the best. And if you want the best of the best of the best, I'm with you on that. For Matricom's benefit, yes, this was a review too. Yes, I fulfilled my contractual obligation. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to help support my channel and keep me doing this, because I love doing this, there are some links in the description to both my PayPal and my Patreon. I'll see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Nvidia Shield owners, stop! In the name of love, it's just a... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to think I've taught you something about yourselves, about me. I don't know what I'm saying. I'd like to think we've all learned a lesson today. I would like to think it also has some... God damn the squeaky chair. See what I'm working with here, people. So you, the discerning viewer, are there going... A shiny thing!
This is the dance of the robot.